Good morning, everyone. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to present our recent work for Aztec. Today, Joey, Zeyu, and I will go over some of our newest features and research regarding Aztec. Okay, so I'll be going over the overview and the new feature called the Aztec Digest. Joey will talk about the biomedical domain classification and keyword tag generation, and Zeyu will talk about the text summarization feature. I'd like to start off with an overview of Aztec by showing our newly produced video for Aztec.
Modern biomedicine relies on an enormous infrastructure of computational tools. Aztec is a global biomedical resource discovery index, which supports successful investigations leading to novel biological insights and enhanced clinical therapies. Aztec is ideally suited to contribute to a larger indexing ecosystem. It sustains its objective by allowing users to simultaneously search a diverse array of tools. These indexed resources include web services, standalone software, and large libraries composed of many interrelated functions. These tools and resources span domains as diverse as imaging, gene ontology, text mining, data visualization, and omics analyses. Aztec ensures that software tools remain findable in the long term by issuing persistent digital object identifiers, or DOIs, which are used to uniquely identify objects. Aztec also provides findable tools by routinely updating the metadata for the entire index. Aztec serves the community by improving citability of the software tools and facilitating the reproducibility of experiments. Aztec was created in collaboration with the HART-BD2K Center of Excellence at the University of California, Los Angeles, the Knowing Big Data Center of Excellence at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, the European Bioinformatics Institute, and the Scripps Research Institute. The sources of Aztec's vast catalog include NIH BD2K software products, resources published in scientific literature, tools manually submitted by authors, and resources indexed by federated global index platforms. Overall, Aztec empowers researchers to overcome the challenges of information science in the 21st century.
Okay, hopefully that gave you a good overview of Aztec. So users of Aztec can interface the platform through a web application or a web API to search for tools. The metadata is stored in a MySQL database and indexed to Apache Solr for keyword search for the keyword search engine. And the initial resources were retrieved from 4 primary sources: the NIH BD2K and other NIH supported programs, scientific literature mining, author submissions, and federated global resources such as Bioconductor, Bio.js, and SourceForge. The metadata for the resources are further enriched from PubMed, GitHub, and our ongoing text mining enrichment tools. So I'll be talking about our newest feature, Aztec Digest, which is our new and improved PDF uploader that allows users to upload their publication as a PDF to Aztec. So our system has improved the PDF to full text conversion to maintain the quality of the text. And this actually has made a big difference in improving the quality of metadata, because a lot of times, for example, the URLs in the text were very fragmented, so it'd be cut off, and those links would be broken because they would not be complete. And now our new system has fixed that. And in addition, we have improved the quality of metadata fields such as affiliation and funding. So I've taken some screenshots of our new feature. So a user would go to Aztec and they could upload multiple PDFs or PMC IDs, and we'd also support DOIs. And once the Aztec system has processed the PDFs, it will show a page with the links to the tools that are now in the Aztec database. And users will have the option to edit them after the upload. So these are the links to the pages in Aztec. In addition, we've created an email service that allows users to email their PDFs to digest@aztec.bio. This service also supports multi-PDF uploads. So once the system processes the email, it will send an email with the extracted metadata, which includes the link to the tool in Aztec. And we will also give users a link that would link the tool to their account so that they can edit it later. Aztec Digest is still being tested on our dev server, but we hope to have it up very soon. Okay. So here are a list of the metadata fields that we extract from PDF. So authors are generally pretty easy to extract because they have their own section in the PDF or in the publication. The name of the software is a bit more complicated. It requires a list of rules that we've put together using regular expressions and may need to be verified using the source code URL. Both funding and affiliations require an existing set of agencies and institutions to extract the correct names of the entities. And we get those agencies and institutions from Wikidata. The source code is a link to the source or the source code. So this is usually a version control system like GitHub, Bitbucket, or SourceForge. And once we have the source code URL, we can obtain the programming language through the existing APIs. And three things that we're currently working on are biomedical domain extraction, keyword tag extraction, and tool summarization. And right now I'll hand it over to Joey to explain his research in these fields.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about two research topics. One is domain classification, and another is tag generation. The motivation of domain classification is to better manage our database and improve the search results for similar tools within the same category. Our previous dataset has about 2,000 items with ground truth of the domain. And here's a domain distribution analysis graph. It is obvious that the data is biased. You can see the genomics and proteomics are in the majority. And this increases the difficulty of classification. And to show it more clearly, here's another distribution graph. You can see some tools are both in the graph in the category of genomics and the proteomics. Then we developed a method called semantic similarity recommendation to predict the domains. The tools are embedded into vector representation for similarity calculation. For each new tool, we take the top 5 most similar tools and use the majority of their domains as a prediction. Here's an example I'm going to show you about Q-based algorithm. After the similarity calculation, we found 5 similar tools for this example. You can notice that the genomics takes the majority of the recommended domain. This is more probable that we would predict the domain as genomics in the end. But as the data grows, more and more unlabeled data comes in. But of course, the supervised model is unable to predict without any labeled data. Besides, it is inevitable that the new domains are included, but new domains are not able to be predicted with current data. We update the ontology of the domains according to the UMLS and mesh and some other resources. You can see from the graph, 5 subcategories are assigned to the genomics together with proteomics, system biology, and metabolomics. So the new methods are on call. Since we cannot continue to rely on the supervised machine learning models, topic modeling is on board. Topic modeling is a frequent used text mining tool for the discovery of hidden semantic structures in a text body. And the LDA is a Prevail generative statistic model in topic modeling fields. Basically, LDA assigns a topic to each document without any help from the labeled data, and it is perfect for our task. You can see in the world of LDA, we do not care about the sequence and order of the words. We only observe backs of words. This graph could give you a general idea of how LDA works. We have several topics, each of which contains a bag of words with the probabilities. And each word in the document will be assigned the best topic it belongs to, based on the distribution of co-occurrence. These are some very simple sentences you can see from it, and two topics such as food and animal are mainly included. As a result, the 5 sentences are processed one by one by assigning the probability of topics in a list. In more detail, LDA represents documents as mixtures of topics that split out with certain probabilities. The sentence 1 and 2 is 100 topic A, 3 and 4 is 100 topic B, but 5 is 60% topic A and 40% topic B. And you can see the topic A and B are also composed of several words with different probabilities. This is results from the LDA. There are 2 main steps of the LDA. Firstly, you go through each document and randomly assign each word in the document to one of the K topics. You need to notice that this random assignment already gives you both topic representations of each document and word distributions of all the topics. But this distribution and the representation are not good. It is randomly assigned, so we need to improve it in every training process. To make it simple, the first probability to improve them for each document D, for each word W in D, and for each topic T, we need to compute 2 different probabilities. The first is a proportion of words in the document D and are currently assigned to topic T. And the second probability is a proportion of assignments to topic T over all documents that have come from this word W. To make it simple, the first probability represents how important one topic is to the document, and the second represents how important one word is to the topic. And by combining them together, we precisely find the best topic of each word in a specific document. These 2 sets of parameters are estimated and updated in the process of assignment. Back to the figure, this figure I showed you before, the prior parameter alpha will be assigned to the direct distribution, and the theta will be for the topics and the documents. Then theta will be updated to posterior based on the observations of topic distribution in the documents. And beta is another direct distribution for words and topics. However, topics assigned to each word and each document are non-specific. After the introduction of LDA, I guess you can also find that the LDA can only assign anonymous topics to documents. We only know the topic 1 is best for the sentence, I like to eat broccoli and bananas, but not the specific name, food. Thus, we need a semi-supervised or a weekly supervised method to improve the LDA. And the source LDA, which is developed by our lab member, integrates in existing labeled knowledge sources representing the known potential topics into a probabilistic topic model. And you can see this is a difference between the common LDA and the source LDA. We add a knowledge source into the graph. And these are two examples of the knowledge source. We download the page from the Wikipedia about the genomics and proteomics. We analyze it, and we can count the distribution of the two different words. We use this distribution to adjust the results of our LDA. The knowledge sources added into the system are in the form of word distribution, and we collect it from the Wikipedia. With guidance of the Wiki distribution, we can easily match the anonymous topic with specific name of topics. For example, in this tool, we found a topic 1 prevails, and proteomics has the most similar distribution of words with a topic 1 word distribution. So the proteomics is a final decision. Okay, here comes to another research topic, the tag generation. The Aztec system used to leverage keywords from the paper to act as tags for online resources. However, phenomena like tag absence and wrong tags is ubiquitous. We also want to normalize the vocabulary used by different tool description. So we are devoted in extracting meaningful and easy retrieve tags for each of the tool in our database, and build a mechanism for automatically generating tags for newly submitted resources. Here, previously we leveraged some phrase mining and keyword extraction methods to complete the tag generation task, just shown in this graph. We firstly pass the PDF to the XML and then extract the text from the XML. We also do text cleaner and phrase segmenter in the data pre-processing part. And then we use some current tools to extract the raw keywords and then calculate the word embedding and the document embedding to assign the best keywords for each document. Also, we control the vocabulary based on the distribution of each topic. But of course, it is difficult to control the vocabulary. Since as long as new tools are added into the database, new keywords may come up. We also extract words from the document, but not use some predefined vocabulary to match the document. And this is a problem. So the source LD comes on board again. Since as long as we have the word distribution of the whole text in the control vocabulary, we may leverage the topic modeling to assign tags to the documents. We are experimenting on a dictionary from UMLS with more than 2,000 keywords, 20,000 keywords and phrases, and validating the probability of this idea. Some example tags are listed here. The next part is about another research topic, the text summarization, and our mate Zeyu will introduce it too.
Hello, this is Zeyu, and I'm going to introduce the text summarization that we newly implemented on Aztec. So text summarization on Aztec are going to appear in the position of this blue box. So the reason why we are implementing this feature is that text summarization can provide a quick overview of the software introduced in this paper. And it can also provide a quickly identify the related GitHub or homepage link in a fast manner. So also, current descriptions are too short and unable to cover enough information of the software. So that's why we decided to implement this new feature that can automatically generate the summarization of the paper. And the third reason is that this feature can save the effort of manually summarizing the PDF content by the PDF uploader. So here's the basic workflow of the text summarization. So we'll start from the PDF and send the original PDF to Grobit and Tesseract OCR. There are two basic tools that we use for text summarization. For Grobit, we're expecting it to transfer PDF to XML, and then we remove the irrelevant content and keep the useful sections. So there might be some parsing errors, so we integrate word segmentation into the system to solve the problem. For other parsing errors, we use Tesseract OCR as a supplement. By combining the Grobit and Tesseract OCR, the system can produce the text for keyword-based extraction. So the keyword-based extraction is only the start of the text summarization, and here we list the to-do items after the keyword-based extraction for further text summarization. After the keyword-based sentence extraction, we annotate the sentence that are extracted from the text by checking whether this sentence is truly describing our software, because we may have some noises coming out of the keyword-based sentence extraction. So with the annotated sentences, we can apply them to machine learning models as a training data set of an extractive summarization algorithm. Here, we're gonna introduce Grobit, the main tool that we use for PDF parsing. The full name of Grobit is Generation of Bibliographic Data. Grobit is a machine learning library for extracting, parsing, and restructuring raw documents such as PDF into structured TER encoded documents with a particular focus on technical and scientific publications. The reason why we choose Grobit is that it converts PDF to XML, and XML provides tags of the context, and this text may help keep the sectional structures such as sections, figures, tables, and other useful informations. So this feature is unique to other similar function tools, which means that other tools that we tried are not able to keep the sectional information. Also, since we have kept the tags, removing the undesired blocks will become more feasible. Here's an example of the parsing procedure of PDF to XML. So the content in the blue box on the right-hand side is translated to the text in the white box on the right. So you can also see a tag abstract on the right-hand side. Later, we find that although Grobit can keep the information of the structures of the document, the output may contain some errors. So in order to solve this problem, we used another tool, Tesseract OCR, to parse the PDF. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. So it is a mechanical or electronic conversion of images of typed, handwritten, or printed text into machine-encoded text. Although Tesseract cannot keep the sectional information of the original document, it has a high accuracy on character recognition, so it can help reduce the error from Grobit. Here is an example of why we would combine them together. As you can see from the top, the text in red, Grobit missed the URL information of some tools. However, in Tesseract OCR, it can preserve the URL information. After the first step, parsing, we select the sections that may contain useful information. So we will keep the abstract, since it may tell us about the availability and implementation details of the software. And we will also keep introduction, discussion, and conclusion for the same reason. This example is from an introduction of a paper. So that very general information concerning the software is provided, as you can see. And we will remove all the mathematics-related sections, such as method and other sections that has a lot of math equations. Here's an example. So the complex math equation is translated into some noise. And we also think that math equations are too detailed to extract software description from. So we decided to remove such sections. Okay, so there are cases where words are wrongly concatenated from the raw text, so which will cause a very big trouble to the parsing. So we use the Python package word segmentation to deal with such problems. But another problem occurs during the segmentation is that word segmentation, the Python package may destroy the structure of a URL. For example, all the punctuations in this GitHub link are incorrectly removed after the word segmentation. So the solution to this problem is that we would use a placeholder to replace all the URLs by matching the URLs from a regular expression, and then we do the word segmentation after the URLs are replaced by the placeholder. So this placeholder may not be affected by the word segmentation. And after the word segmentation, we will substitute the placeholder with the original URLs in order. Okay, here's a preliminary result of the keyword-based sentence extraction. And we use a vocabulary created based on our observation from the data. And we can see the availability, implementation information, and essential technical details of the software. So that's pretty much of the text summarization, and now I'll hand it over to Vincent about our next steps.
Okay, so in the short term, we aim to continue improving our quality of metadata by keeping the metadata up to date. While we have improved the metadata in the past few months, we'd like to tackle some edge cases, including handling broken or out-of-date URLs. And there's still a lot of progress to be made for the domain classification, tag extraction, and the text summarization. We're also looking to expand our database to include tools from various journals, including BMC Bioinformatics, Nature Methods, Nature Biotechnology, and Nucleic Acid Research. Currently, we have just Bioinformatics journal, but I think once in the next few months, we'll be able to expand to the next few journals. And in the long term, we wish to integrate with OmicsDI to provide users with suggested data sets to use with the tools that they find on Aztec. And on OmicsDI, users would be able to see suggested tools that they could use to analyze data sets that they find on OmicsDI. And our eventual goal is to synthesize pipelines that allow users to map one tool's output to another tool as input. So those are our goals, both short-term and long-term. That concludes our presentation today. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.